so you kind of have to get them angled like that.
Oh.
That worked out pretty well.
A bit on the front.
Put on our 8.
Okay, I'll admit to being nervous.
Sure.
Oh, look at that comb. Look at that comb in there. That's so cool.
Well, they were bored.
They're busy, not bored.
He didn't bring
Wow.
the TV. They had to do something.
It's their instinct. They drink almost their entire weight in honey before they leave the mother hive, because what their task is to fly from the mother hive. They take mom. They starve mom for about 5 days so that she's light enough to fly, and then when she's light enough to fly, then they'll fly a short distance, sometimes just a couple of feet or 100 feet or less, and then they come on, sweeties, and then they debate where to have the new home because they don't know where their cavity is. So the oldest of the workers are on the outside of the ball that's hanging from a limb or whatever, and so they call them scout bees, and these scout bees go in all directions. And they'll go a mile or two if they need to find a good cavity, and they do a real thorough examination of ventilation and diameter and all this stuff, and they come back and they dance that location if they think it's a valuable spot. And then there are up to 20 or 40 scouts that will watch that dance, and they'll go and check out that site, and then they'll come back and they'll basically give it a 5, 4, 3-star rating. And so they'll take those 20 possible locations, and they will have to decide on something, otherwise the swarm will die. They've got to have a roof and 4 walls. Every once in a while, bees will get confused, and they'll start to build their comb in the middle of a rose bush or something like that. They'd never make it through winter because there's not enough protection.
Right.
But they'll do it just out of
Desperation.
So who
or
decides?
stupidity.
Oh.
Right. Who decides? The scout bees, the old workers do.
But if there's
As a
20
group.
locations.
That's why they have the fact checkers.
Oh.
And so it's a debate, So eventually it'll boil down to a best spot, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when they have their best spot, then what they'll do is the outside bees will tell the inside bees that they have figured out where to go, and they'll all take to the air one more time as a group, and then they will fly into that hole wherever it is, in a house or in a hive that is either baited like yours was, or into an old tree with a hole in it. And then they immediately start to build comb. That's what they'll do.
And that's just overnight.
Yeah, this was overnight. These are active girls. This is really good. For the volume of bees we have in here, they really outdid themselves.